Let's go. We back. Wholesale Hard Knocks, episode 27. It's your boy Daryl Ellison at Daryl Ellison. Got my brother with me, Mike Gomes at Mike Gomes. Yo, Mike, what we got today?
What up, bro? Yo, I was thinking earlier this week, I'm like, I've had so many dope mentors in my life. And a mentor doesn't even have to be somebody that like you've actually paid to get a mentorship or a course or something like that. Like I started thinking about it. I was just reflecting. I reflect all the time. And I'm like, holy crap, how did I end up where I'm at? And it really is just the mentors that I've had. People that I've looked up to, like father figures that I've had, people that I've like done other businesses with that I learned from. And I'm like, yo, mentorship is one of the most important things that has got me to the place where I'm at today. I literally every single person that I've looked up to in a business or in when we used to play football or something like that, I would just look and see exactly what they did and I would just go do it. And it worked. That's what mentorship is literally analyzing and looking at whoever you're looking up to and whoever you want to be like. Essentially, like us, one of our biggest mentors is Pace. Like I literally look at Pace, not even just his business, but his like life in general. And I'm like, yo, he has a dope family. He's rich as shit. Has a dope community. Like that's freaking amazing. How did he do that? Let's freaking rock and roll. Let's do it. So yeah, let's talk about mentorship, bro.
Yo, it's super important, bro. Like, and that's why I love today's age, right? Like today, there's absolutely no reason to be broke. If you're broke, yeah, you want to be broke at this point because
that's a
there's
fact.
so many mentors on YouTube. Like you said, bro, you don't have to pay for somebody. My first mentor was off of YouTube, like me literally watching these YouTube videos for free, taking what I can get, and those are my mentors. Like Max Maxwell was my mentor, Brent Daniels was my mentor, right? Like those are the two dudes I was listening to all day, every day. First getting started, right?
Yeah,
bro, it's super important because like even though on YouTube and like until you start paying for it, that's when like you get like the secret sauce, right? That they don't put on YouTube. But what's important about it is like you're paying. So smart people learn from their mistakes, right? But even smarter people learn from other people's mistakes, right? So you're pretty much paying for somebody else's mistakes. So when you get paid for a mentor, you're paying for trials and tribulations that person went through and they had to learn on their own. So you don't have to go do it, right? If it's just like, and you can listen or you can not listen, right? That's the cool thing about it, right? Like I remember I go to a lot of my mentors and they're like, yeah, you're the kid that I tell you the stove's hot and you still go touch it. Not on your own, right? So like, that's the beauty about it, right? Like you have an option, right? Like you can listen to them, which you probably should, or you don't have to. But now it's allowing you to think bigger, think differently than you were before.
That's how I look at like my problems now. Problems that I run into, I look at it from a standpoint of, yo, this is fire. Because not only am I learning through this shit, but I know I'm going to give somebody some sauce. Like I know somebody else is going to be able to get some value from this problem that I'm solving. Right.
I came to that realization the one day. I was helping somebody on my team and they asked me a question about just like a crazy situation. I forget what it was, but it doesn't really happen. Like it's a rare situation that happens in real estate. And I knew the answer because I've been through it. Right. So it's like I caused that problem before. And now when somebody else comes to me with that problem, it's like, oh, this is easy. Right. This is what we do. It's
exactly. You know what's crazy? Think about somebody like Pace. Pace has went through so much stuff just in business in general. Like he's had multiple businesses before. He knows his stuff because he went through the stuff.
Right.
So if I was going to give anybody some advice, I would be like, yo, if you're going to go hire a mentor or if you're just going to go look up to somebody on YouTube or something like that, make sure that they've been through the things.
Yeah.
That's the hardest way that you like that's the most easiest way to learn, I would say, as far as like getting it to stick in your brain. It's going through some shit and then learning it, right?
I don't want to get off of what you were just saying, though, bro. Not to cut you off. That was super important. You need to vet your mentor. You need to make sure that your mentor is somebody who's actually doing what they say they're doing. Because there's a lot of people who say that they're out here doing it, and they're not.
They're not. We're not going to name names, but they're not.
They're not.
That's the thing, bro. Here's the thing, though, right? When you go through the thing, when you go through the problems, and you finally have the solution, or even you know somebody that has done that and has went through the problems and has given you the solution, it is so much easier to teach it to somebody. Facts. But if you're just going off of like stipulation because you've never went through it or you've never seen somebody go through it, and you're just pumping out a shit ton of content and not going through the thing, dude, how are you actually going to solve somebody's problem when their problem comes up? Not even how are you going to do that, but how is it going to come off confident?
You can't.
Right? Like I just me as a person, I couldn't, if somebody came to me for advice and I truly don't know the answer, I'm going to let you know that. Like, yo, bro, that's actually crazy. I have no idea. But let me go figure that out for you.
Yep.
Because I have mentors, right?
Exactly.
But I can figure that out. That they've probably been through this.
And that's a great point. So I think a lot of people confuse too, like mentors and courses, right? Like if somebody just has a course, like a step-by-step process, this is how you do this, right? Don't call that person. That's not your mentor, right? Your mentor is somebody that you can literally have a conversation with. And I wouldn't even say have a conversation with. This is somebody who can guide you in the right direction whenever you have a problem, right? You can come to them and you have a problem. They help you solve this problem.
Or he provides a team or a community that you can reach out to do that with. Here's what it is. The difference between the two is almost like a mentor allows you to go practice the thing within the mentorship, right? Like you can go bring a problem to the mentorship and the problem will be solved. AKA you're practicing a real estate business or you're practicing whatever, Amazon FBA business or whatever, right? But to what you're saying is just modules. Maybe you can call it coaching. Yeah. All that is just looking at a module. So when I go run into a problem, how the hell am I going to get the problem solved when it's not in the modules?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. I've bought in a bunch of courses. I've bought in a bunch of mentorships in my life. And to your point, I guess what are we going to call them? Just a module. We're going to call it coaching, a coaching program or something.
Yeah, you just call it a course.
Course. Yes, I love it. So we'll call it a course, right? So this course that I took was essentially how to get on radio ads. Spent $5,000, how to get on radio ads. Mm-hmm. And I've actually known some people that done it and had success. For me, that's not how I learn. I don't learn from just modules.
Right.
Like that's not good for me. So what happened is I spent the $5,000 and I listened to the modules. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me go do the thing. And the thing was going out and talking to sales reps to get on the radio. Yeah. And I started doing the thing and I started like negotiating and stuff like that. And then I started running into problems. And there was no one to reach out to.
No community. No.
Yep. They had like a 30-minute call or something like that a week where you can kind of do it. But it was BS. It was BS, right? So for me, I was just like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not going to do it. What happened? I said, screw that mentorship or course, you could say. And I'm going into sub 2. And all of a sudden, I started freaking crushing it. Because why? There was all the modules for one, all this information that I could go and I could freaking take action on. And then that action would then cause a problem to happen. And then I had people to bring the problem to and be like, yo, what the hell do I do? With the other thing, with the radio course that I had, I didn't have that. I ran into the problem and I essentially stopped. And for me, I'm like, go. Like I got to solve the problem. And then I got to go figure out.
Yeah.
Right. Like I don't have time for that shit. I'm like, yo, I got to get this shit going. So it was too slow for me. And I ended up deading it. That's why I wasted $5,000. So if I was to tell younger Mike some advice, I'd be like, bro, go vet that course. Go maybe talk to some people that have done that course. Go talk to people that know the owner of that course, right? Like, what is this thing all about? And then do it. Instead, I just saw a freaking ad. And at the time, I was stressed up because I was trying wholesaling for like 5 months and it just wasn't working. I was like, all right, radio is it. This guy sounds good. And it wasn't. So tell me about some mentors that you've had in your life and how they move the needle.
Bro, honestly, it's the main thing is like we've been talking about, right? Like when you have a problem, I'm able to give somebody a call. Like there's nothing that I will come across that I can't say like, okay, let me scroll down my phone and call one of my mentors who can help me out, right? And it's super important. Like I noticed that you said one of your mentors, right? Like it's important to have mentors for every aspect of your life, right? Like mentor for your mindset, right? Mentor for physical, for like working out, right? Mentor for business, right? It's super important to have mentors for everything, right? And bro, honestly, like the best thing is having somebody who's just not afraid to call you out on your bullshit, right? Because like you have a lot of times like a lot of friends, a lot of times people don't want to call you out on what you're doing wrong or what you need to be doing, right? But having that person who's like, yo, you're not shit. Like you need to do this so you can be something, right? Like that's super important for me, right? Super important for me to have somebody that I can come to and like when I'm in a slump, I'm just like, this is what do I do, right? And just need guidance, and I just get that, right? So like I said earlier, you're paying for people's lessons, right? You're paying for other people's trials and tribulations, and speeding your learning curve yourself. So
you said something really important there, though. You said what's good for you, like that's good for you. So like for me, what I should have done with the radio mentorship is I should have known what's good for me before I even went into it. Like I know that I don't learn that way. I don't like that's not how I learn.
For sure.
So I should have looked at myself first and said, hey, Mike, where do you best fit in a learning in a learning process, right? Like what makes sense for you? And then I would have looked at that course and I would have been like, what do they give? All right, just a couple modules. Do I get to like talk to the guy that's actually doing the thing, or like, no, okay, this doesn't make any sense for me. That's what should have happened. Instead, I was just like, all right, screw it, let's do it.
How much longer do you think it would have taken you to get a deal before you got into a mentorship, into a community?
I would have deaded this shit, bro. Like for real.
Explain.
So here's what happened. I started my business, didn't have any real estate. Actually, let me stop. I did have a real estate mentor. I didn't have a wholesaling mentor, and I was trying to wholesale. I had a real estate mentor who was a fix and flipper. And he's a really good friend of mine. And essentially he did a lot of fix and flips, but he did not wholesale, and I was trying to wholesale, right? So I was learning a ton about fix and flip and underwriting and rehab costs and all that type of stuff, which was good. I just wasn't learning the thing that I needed to learn, which is wholesale, because wholesale and fix and flip are completely two separate businesses, right? So I was trying to do that, did that for like maybe 4 or 5 months until I got a virtual assistant. So I was doing all this with no actual wholesale mentorship, then got a virtual assistant, tried that without a mentor, right? I just got a virtual assistant and tried figuring it out on YouTube. Then that didn't work out. Then I got into the radio mentorship. Actually, radio mentorship was in the middle of that. That didn't work out. Then I went 3 months with my virtual assistant, spending a shit ton of money, generating leads, not closing, didn't know what the heck I was doing. Finally, lash out of the dark. I'm like, all right, this guy Pace freaking is following me around on social media. Let me go get in his mentorship. Got in his mentorship, and in the first 3 weeks, I got my first deal, and I've been doing deals ever since.
What would you say to somebody who's like, yo, like I really want to get into mentorship, but I just don't have the money right now?
Here's the thing. Here's what I would say. Mike was going to quit, and I'm not going to go into the weeds of what would have happened if I quit this business, because I wouldn't be sitting here right now. Put it that way. But I was going to quit the business if I didn't get into that mentorship and it didn't work, or if I got into the mentorship and didn't work, I wouldn't be here right now. I would be somewhere else. Now, what I would say is what I didn't realize is that me spending that money made me a shit ton of money. I obviously knew that's the thing, right? Like it's an ROI. You spend money on a mentorship, you expect to get some deals done and make some money back. What I didn't realize is how much money that I've made since then. And if I never spent that whatever amount of money that it was at that point, I would have lost all the money that I made up to this point and all the money that I'm going to make in the end. So let's just say hypothetical. Let's just say since I got into sub 2, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there for sake of example. Let's just say I made $250,000. If I didn't make that decision to spend the money, I would have lost $250,000 up to this point.
Opportunity tax.
Yeah, yo, like you're losing a lot of money not spending the money.
What if I spend the money and I don't get a deal? What if I don't get paid?
That's your fault, dog. It's just like me. I spent the money. I'm not blaming the radio mentorship. Granted, I did say that they stink, but like, dude, I said it's my fault. You know what I'm saying? I should have known that's not how I learn. Yeah. Because, and the reason why it's my fault is because I know people that have had a lot of success from that same exact course. They're just different learners than me. I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I should have known that about myself. It's my fault for not following through with the whole entire course. And I should have known myself that I wasn't going to follow through with the course.
Nah, for sure, bro. And I think like that's the thing, right? Like I think people look at it more as like an expense rather than like an investment, right? Like this is something that you invest the money and the time into yourself to actually want to grow and want to learn, right? There's no way that you can fail. Speaking of that, so you're in a community, right? This has to be a good community, right? Like a good mentorship, right? Where you have like a good community that's actually worth something, right? It's actually like doing deals, because if you're not, then it just doesn't make sense, right? So somebody joins a community, right? What is the best way to succeed when you join? Like, what did you do when you got in?
I already had like leads and stuff cranking on my own at that point. I just didn't know how to close. So for me, I just locked in on Pace's calls. Like I'm not the one that can go watch a module of courses and stuff like that and look at a whiteboard or something and then go out and lock up deals. I need to see the thing being done. So the thing that helped me out the most is that Pace literally was talking to his own sellers, and I would sit there for hours like listening and watching his seller calls. And I'm like, holy crap, I know exactly why he's doing that. I know why he's doing that. All right, let me go take this stuff and go use it on my calls tomorrow. And I just kept doing that. And also at that point, I was doing a bunch of role plays and all the things that you do to get better at sales, right? But at the end of the day, I was a monkey see, monkey do type of person. So I would see somebody doing something and then I would go do it and I would perfect it in my best capability, right? So that's what I would say. And that's why it's important that whatever mentor that you have is doing the thing. Yeah. Right? So for example, what would have helped me in the radio mentorship is if the guy or maybe even somebody on his team was going out and talking to the sales reps to get you on the radio, and they had like call recordings and stuff like that, and like literally showed them doing the business, that would have helped me out a ton because that's how I learned. You know what I mean? So I would suggest once you get into a community, figure out how you learn, go learn some stuff. It could be from courses. It could be by looking at whiteboard things. And if that's how you learn, go absorb as much as your brain can absorb, and then immediately go implement it. And just keep doing that back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden you stack up so many skills that you're freaking savage.
It's crazy, bro. Cause like what you talked about earlier, not many people talk about that or even think about that, right? Like your opportunity costs, right? I wanted to bring that back because like there's so many things like when my old self, like I would hear like, okay, a course is $10,000 or mentorship is $10,000. And like my first thought is the price, right? Like my first question was, how much is it? Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not even the first question anymore. Right. Like the question is like, how much value is this going to bring this to me?
Right.
Right. So like you get to a point where you just need to like just chase value after value after value. Like we were just kind of talking about this in the back, right? Like once you get really good at something, like you're like, okay, this is good. Like I can remove myself from this, right? And then it's like, then what, right? Like when you beat one level in the game, right? It's like there's got to be another level, right? So you got to figure it out. It may start off a little slow, but you want to pick it up, right? So it's important to just constantly learn, constantly get in these rooms, right? That's the main thing about the mentorships, right? It's like getting in rooms with other higher level people, right? Who are doing what you want to do, right? And get close to them, figure out what they're doing.
Yes. Right? And it's okay to go to the next level of mentorship. Yeah. Like it's okay to go get a mentor that's doing, I don't want to say bigger things, but doing the next level things that you want to go do. You know what I'm saying? That maybe your mentor right now is not doing. That's perfectly fine. It's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? And now that I look back at all my mentors that I've ever had, that's all that it was. It was just like I was unlocking the next level in the video game. That's it.
Oh, it is, bro.
I had to learn from that mentor, and I was like, okay, great, got what I needed here. On to the next one.
That's the main thing, bro. I challenge everybody though. Like Marlon is really the one who changed my mindset about this, right? Mm-hmm. Shout out to Mindset Marlon, my mindset coach, right? One of my mindset coaches, him and Keston. Like I have literally two mindset coaches, right? Like it's you want to continue to put yourself in higher rooms, but like one thing that he told me was I asked a question. It was for another mentorship, and first question I asked him was, "Yeah, how much is it?" Right? And he's like, "You're asking the wrong question, bro." I'm like, what do you mean? I'm asking.
Sounds like, dang it, that means it's a lot.
Right. That was definitely the first thought. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm asking the wrong question. He's like, bro, you should be asking, how much value do I get out of this? Right? What is it going to teach me? Right. And ever since then, bro, like I tell everybody the same thing. Like when somebody asks me the price of a mentorship, you're asking me the wrong question right now. Right? Like maybe you're not ready for this, because if that's the first thing you're going to is the price, right? Then maybe you're not ready for this. Maybe you need to go to YouTube and see if you like really want this first. You know, because if you really want it, the price don't matter. You'll find the money. If this is what you need to do, you'll figure it out.
100%. Do you know who Yahya Bakar is?
I heard of the name.
He's the man. But essentially he's a motivational speaker, or was a motivational speaker. And he talks about a story of he literally he like dropped out of college or something like that, moved in with one of his homies, didn't really have any money, and his homie was like, dude, you should be a motivational speaker. And he's like, nah, why would I do that? Nobody's gonna listen to me. And then something clicked in his mind or something like that, and he started searching on YouTube and stuff like that. How do you become a motivational speaker? And Tony Robbins came up.
Yeah.
And it was like $8,000 or something like that for the course. And he's like, dude, I don't have $8,000. I just dropped out of college. Right. Like, I don't know what the heck to do. So he got resourceful. He literally went through his whole entire phone and called everybody on his phone and said, hey, bro, I need money for a course. Do you got me? Did that for like hours. Finally raised the money in order to get the course. Yep. Homeboy was on stages, like the biggest stages that you could think about. Like he's no joke.
It's what it takes, bro.
It does. So if you're saying that you don't have the money for it, it's like you're just not being resourceful enough.
You're not ready. You're not ready for it, because the question you're going to be asked, you need to ask yourself is, how do I get the money? That's number one. So you need to go back to the mindset, right, and get the mindset right first. Because it's like we were talking about, right? Like we said, if you get in there and you don't make money, right, you don't execute, that's your fault, right? Like, because you didn't do what you were supposed to. You weren't ready for it, right? So I would say everybody does need to get a mentorship, right? But make sure it's the right fit for you at that time, for sure.
100%. Can you talk about some mentors that you had early on? Maybe it was like a football coach or something like that.
Man, that's a good one, bro. I had a lot, bro. Especially with football, right? Like my dad, my grandfather, a lot of my coaches, right? Especially like when I got to Bowie State, I had a lot of mentors there. Like the one who's the head coach right now, Coach Kyle, like that was my dog. Like and it was just somebody who like with him, right? Like he really showed me like how to be a leader, right? Like he really like stamped it, like how to be like the leader, how to call the shots, right? Like how to grab everybody's attention in like in a meeting, stuff like that, right? And I didn't even notice it until like about a few months ago, honestly. Like that's what he was preparing me for, right? And I don't even think he knows, right? Like, but he would have me run the meetings, right? The linebacker meetings with him in there. He's sitting in there. I'm running the linebacker meetings and the defensive meetings with the team and shit like that, right? So like now, like I everybody who works for me, they're like, "Yo, you're a great leader." Like they literally said this to me, like you're a really good leader, right? Yeah. And it's because I was groomed into it, bro, my whole life. You know what I'm saying?
So could you imagine if you knew this in the beginning? Because same thing with me. I had mentors that I look back at now as like, oh, that was my mentor, but I didn't know it then. And shit, I probably have some now that I don't recognize. Like you, bro. Yeah. I bring you a problem the other day. Yeah. And I did it in a sense of like, hey, I need Daryl to give me some real information, like as like coming from the heart. Facts. And I asked you a question and you helped me out. You help me make a decision. So like literally, you probably have mentors right now that you're not even thinking about. Same thing with me. Without a doubt. But could you imagine if you went back and thought about how your coach was a mentor of yours and you purposely like looked at him like that and intentionally looked at him as a mentor?
Bro, nah, yeah, it would have been insane. If I would have done a lot of things, like if I would like a lot of things like playing football, if I would have known like this was getting me ready for like just entrepreneurship in general, I would have done some things differently, focused a lot of things a lot more in tune, you know.
Yeah, bro. Because I remember I had a football coach tell me, because I was just an absolute jackass. Like I thought I was the freaking man. I had the biggest ego. He was like, bro, you need to cut that shit out.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know at the time. I was just like, okay. And now I look to it as from a standpoint of I wish I looked to him as a mentor at that point because I would have used it earlier. I didn't recognize it just like yourself, probably not until like recently where I was like, oh crap, he gave me some really good sauce that if I used it 5 years ago, I would be 10x ahead of where I am right now. Yeah. Rather than just looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, that's interesting.
It's cool for now, right? But it's life, bro. Like you'll understand it when it's your time, right? Like when it's ready for you, and you're able. It's a good thing that we're able to look back on it, you know. Now we're ready for a lot of the lessons, and it sucks because like we're not there, but it's still there, right? Like it's still there. We've been through it. We understand, you know what it was preparing us for now, you know. So
100%. So do you how about your first mentor that you paid for?
That was Pace.
Okay.
Yeah, Pace was the first one. Honestly, bro, Pace is the first and only one that I paid for so far. I have a lot more that have been like more relational based, right? Like like I've been introduced to them and like they took me under as like their mentees type of thing. But I have a lot of plans for like, especially for the fourth quarter, to get into more mentorships. And honestly, bro, the reason for it is paying for another reason is you're paying for not only their mistakes, but you're paying for a relationship as well. Right? Like, and people, I mean, call it what you want, but I wouldn't trade like the relationship I have with Pace, bro. I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't I wouldn't care that I paid to get into the mentorship to build this relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll do it times 10. I'll do it 10 more times.
I literally forgot that I paid for the mentorship.
Exactly. Right. So like that's what it is. Like when it's like you see somebody who is like crushing it and these people inspire you and they teach you something, right? You're no longer like, the way I look at it, a lot of times you're not even paying for education, right? You're just paying to get into the room. And proximity is power. Proximity is everything. Now this person knows your name, right? You put up that money, this person's gonna know your name. Right? And that's all you need. That's all you need a lot of times. It's for somebody to know your name and bring you up in the right place at the right time.
And give you a shot.
Give you a shot. That's all you need. So it's so much opportunity cost that you're just losing if you don't have a mentorship, a good mentor that's actually doing the things and wants to see you win. You know, wants to see you win and provide value.
100%, 1000%. So what was the decision like in order to do the mentorship?
What do you mean, like
what made you pull the trigger?
So what made me join Sub 2 was I was wholesaling. I was watching Wholesale Hotline, so I knew who Pace was, I knew what Sub 2 was, and I kind of just came across it, and I came across a pre-foreclosure lead, right? And the lady's just like, I'm just gonna give the house to the bank. Like she's like, I'm just gonna let the bank have it because I don't know what to do. And I'm like, damn, I mean, I kind of know what to do, but I really don't. But if you just give me a few days, I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know. So I joined Sub 2 the very next day.
Interesting, bro. You joined Sub 2 to solve a problem.
Yeah, to solve a problem. Literally. I probably could have just joined the free Facebook group and asked somebody in there, but I didn't even know that was a thing. I just knew Pace Morby knew how to solve my problem. So I need to get into his community that he's a part that he's teaching.
That's as simple as it is.
Yeah.
Go find out your problems and go find out the people that know the answer to your problems.
Exactly.
Go hire them to freaking solve.
I knew this was going to be a reoccurring problem, right? I knew this was going to be a reoccurring thing.
That's important too.
Yeah. And the big thing, bro, is like when you pay for something, now you're serious about it, right? So like I honestly think like if somebody has an issue paying the price for something that's gonna like elevate you and make you double or triple that money, you're not too sure of yourself, right? Like you don't trust yourself that you're gonna make it work because you're not serious enough to put that money invest it into yourself, right? Like if you was all the way committed to this shit and you're like, there's no way I could fail, you have no issue paying for something or figuring it out, or at least figuring it out, right? Like when I joined Sub 2, I didn't have the money all the way. I did it on a payment plan. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that out loud, but that's what I did. But it's just about asking. Like you want it bad enough, you'll figure it out. Like,
I know that's what I said. Like, wait, hold on. Well, let's not give out the sauce, but
right.
Yeah. But here's the thing. There are two different types of people. Somebody that's going to put up the money and somebody that's not. Yeah. And like you said, somebody that's not going to put up the money doesn't trust in themselves. That was literally me. So we're at the Clever Summit and they're pitching the Avengers Mastermind, right?
Yeah.
Which is pricey. It's expensive. It's not cheap. And my girl is like, yo, you're getting it. You're getting in that mastermind. I don't care. I'm like, yo, I'm not spending that money right now, bro. I'm like, there ain't no way I'm spending that money right now. I got a ton of deals that we have under contract that I actually need to perform on. I got a bunch of stuff going on. There's no way I can spend that money right now.
Yeah.
Finally, I end up spending the money. She takes my damn credit card and swipes it. And I'm in a meditation after that, like the next morning, and I'm in a meditation and I hear a voice that tells me, oh yeah, bro, you just didn't believe in yourself. Like this is real shit. I'm being dead ass. Like a voice in my head told me, You just did not believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Literally, like weeks later, I made money from the mastermind.
Yep.
I did a deal because of getting into the Avengers. I've made my money back already.
Hell yeah.
And I just did not believe in myself. And literally, I heard a voice that told me that.
Bro, that's what it is, bro. Like, whenever there's a problem now, like just the mindset shift. And this is the importance of getting in these rooms, right? Getting with like-minded individuals in mentorships, in communities, right? Because I wouldn't have never met friends like Mike, friends like Marlon, friends like Andrew and Nick, who are pushing me and helping me think like this, right? Because it's just different, right? I've been hanging out with my old friends, right? But damn, I low-key lost my train of thought. But I forgot what I was talking about, bro. My bad.
You're talking about just being in a mentorship with people, like you.
Yeah, no, I was getting to something else because it was just the change in the way of thinking. But yeah, but just getting in the community is important, bro. Like it's super important. Yeah.
100%. Because then, like you said, you get around people like us. You get new homies that test you to do different things. I told you guys, literally, I hit up Daryll on like Tuesday or something or Monday, and I asked him a question. And it was super real. Most people would have beat around the bush and told me, yeah, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I would have got the yeah, it's okay from somebody that I didn't meet in a mentorship. Somebody that I just met at a meetup at one of your freaking local RIAs, right? They would have just patted me on the back and said, Mike, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Nah, yo. The people in the mentorship put the skin in the game. They're the type of people that like hold people accountable. They hold themselves accountable, so they're going to hold you accountable. Hey, if I'm going to spend this money, that means I got to go make this freaking money back.
That's what it was. I was saying, like my answer to everything, bro. If it's a problem, my answer is just make more money. like that's it. Just make more money.
My girl gets so mad at me for that. We'll be spending too much money, or we'll go on an expensive date or some things like that. And she's like, "Dang, we shouldn't be spending this money." I'm like, "Hell no." Every time she says that, I'm just like, "All right, I gotta go back to work. I gotta go make money." Yeah. That's the answer to everything, bro. It's never I gotta save money. It's always how do I make more money?
How do I make more money? And interesting now, like the question I've been asking myself now, it's not how do I make more money? It's how do I help somebody? How do I help somebody else? Like how do I solve more problems for people? You know, and it's how do I provide more value to people, right? And the money comes.
Because why?
What do you say?
Because why?
Because when you're solving people's problems, that's when the money comes.
That's when that's why you make money.
That's why you make money.
Right.
So
reverse engineer going to make the money.
Exactly.
Solving the problems makes you the money. Go freaking solve the problems. That's so good. You're 100% right. People get caught up on like, okay, what are the little intricate things of wholesaling or something like that to put in their brain of how they make money. Like, okay, I got to go get the dialer. I got to go do all that. And I got to do all this stuff. Literally me today, in the past like 2 or 3 days, I have been in my CRM calling sellers. And I've just been thinking, okay, where are the people with the most problems? That's all I got to figure out.
Right. And that's what it is, bro. Like you find people who have problems, you solve them. Right. And that's like with anything, right? Like just sales in general, like real estate, right? When it's not the fact that they want to sell this house. It's why do they want to sell this house? Right? Like what happened to make you want to sell this house? Right? So it's like solve this person's problem. That's when the money comes, right? You figure out a problem. Everything that is literally that we use is made to solve a problem. Like a freaking candle. This is here so my house doesn't stink. So that solved my problem of my house stinking. Somebody said, "Oh, this house doesn't smell right. How do I make it smell better? I'm gonna make a candle and I'm gonna sell it." They solved the problem. Right? And it's just what it is, bro.
Even mentors think like that. Mentors are like, "Hey, there's people out there that don't know this business. I'm gonna go solve their problem. That way they can do the business.
Exactly. That's
so
the biggest part. That's what mentors do. They're solving a problem, bro. They're solving their students' problem. And your problem is you can't convert deals or whatever. Like you can't close deals, or you need help with creative finance, or you need help with wholesaling, or you need help with fix and flipping. That's your problem because you don't know how to do it. So a mentor's job is to help you solve that problem, help bridge that gap, be that person that's going to say, okay, let me make this easy for you. Right? Let me hold your hand. Let me stand beside you and literally walk you through this step by step.
I freaking love it. If Daryl had a mentorship of his own, what would that look like?
Oh, we got that, baby. We got that, baby. So, like honestly, bro, we put together like a sales training mentorship type of thing, right? Where it's more than sales training, right? But it's based around sales training, right? To really help people convert their deals, right? Close deals, and just become a closer, right? Like I envision, we're talking about community, right? Like my overall vision for it is just an environment, a community of just badass closers, bro. Like in any industry too. Like I picture like
I like that.
Bro, I picture like meetups, right? And it's just like Wolf of Wall Street vibe.
That's fine.
like we're doing closest competitions at meetups. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that, right? Like just it's called the dog pound, bro, for a reason, because it's just dogs, bro. Like just close.
That's what it's called.
That's what it's called, bro.
That's fire. That is fire. I love that.
Yeah,
you know what's interesting too, though? Now that we're talking about it, think about somebody like Pace has grew a mentorship in a community, unlike any other mentorship and community out here.
Yeah.
So naturally, he's going to grow some savages who's going to grow dope communities like himself. So if you think about that, if you're looking for a mentor, I would look for a mentor that got mentored by a freaking good mentor.
Without a doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Pace has a lot of good mentors. He talks about them.
Yeah. So, it's a reason why he doesn't show us who his mentors are, though. Why we don't know who their mentors are, right? Like it's a reason, right? Like it's like you were saying earlier, it's levels. You know what I'm saying?
I freaking love it, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. It's awesome, and it's all about just like how can, because that's the question I've been asking myself, right? How do I provide value to as many people as possible? And that's the answer that kept coming to me. You know, like what do you do? What can you do to help somebody? Right. And that's what it is. I think I can help people in a lot of different ways, but I think I enjoy doing it, helping people become sales, just ninjas, bro. Just closers.
So good.
Yeah.
I'm getting in Daryl's mentorship.
What about you, bro?
Soon come.
Soon come.
But you don't want to, if and when I do mine, you don't want to join mine. You want to join Daryl's.
Facts.
He said facts. So, how about y'all in the chat? Yeah. What would y'all like to see if Mike or Daryl came out, or since Daryl already has his out, what would you guys like to see from a mentorship? Or also, if you guys have any real estate questions, feel free. We can end this last like 5 minutes or so with a Q&A. But yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah, dude, soon come. We're building it.
Oh yeah, bro.
We're building it out. Here's the thing. I was on a Zoom over the week, or like, what was it? Yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I was in a Zoom where essentially I was calling sellers and I was teaching people what was going on while I was calling the sellers. And bro, it was crazy. Like,
yeah, it's important, bro, because like we have a lot of knowledge to share with people, right? Like I'm sure you gave those guys a freaking masterclass yesterday, or what was that yesterday?
Yeah,
you gave them a masterclass yesterday, right? And the thing is, like, it would be disrespectful to you and to them if you didn't charge. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if you don't pay for it, they're not going to take it. If they don't pay for it, they're not going to take it as seriously, right? Like if if sub 2 was like $100, you're not gonna take it as seriously as you did for what you paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, 100%. And that's when I do build one, I want it to be from a standpoint of like, yo, if you're getting in my shit, you're gonna get deals.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I was actually thinking about it the other day. I was like, if I come out with a course, I might even do something where if you don't get your first deal in like 3 to 6 months, you're no longer welcome.
Damn. Get them out of there. Facts.
That'd be fire, right?
Hell yeah.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
if you don't do a deal in the first 3 to 6 months in the mentorship, you're kicked out. Other than that, you're in there for life.
A lot of that pressure. We talk about positive peer pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I love it. But bro, I'm joining Daryl's mentorship.
Bro, sold out, bro.
Dang it.
Sold out, dog.
Dang it.
You gotta catch the next round. You gotta catch the next
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Let's rock and roll, bro. Don't see too many questions.
Yeah, bro. So yo, this was awesome, bro. So episode 27, Wholesale Hardknocks. Yo, Mike, every week, bro, we're just gonna keep on making this just better and better, bro. Let's continue to just bring the value, bro. Drop the value. We'll be here every single Wednesday.
Maybe this is what we need to do next week.
Okay, hold on. What we
I'd
got?
love to see more deal breakdowns, actual numbers. People skip partnership and JV breakdowns. Let's freaking do it.
Let's make it happen.
Let's do 2 different things next week. So you guys that are watching, this is what next week's going to be about. One, me and Daryl will break down one of our deals that we recently closed on. But 2, why don't you guys bring leads or opportunities or maybe contracts that you have, and we'll go over that in the second part of Wholesale Hardknocks, and we'll underwrite your deals. So it'll be 1, going over one of our deals, 2, underwriting what the hell we got on for free, no mentorship.
I like that. I like that.
But I appreciate y'all watching, yo. This is the 27th episode. Let's freaking go,
bro. Damn, that's awesome.
Love it, bro.
That's almost 6. That's 6 months, bro.
Yeah, dog. We've been rocking and rolling.
You're a dog, bro. Yo, bro, that's it for today. We'll catch y'all next week, every single Wednesday, 4:00 Arizona time, 7:00 Eastern time, 6:00 Central time. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all liking the video, subscribing to me and Mike's YouTube channels, and following us both on Instagram. You'll see our names are here at the bottom. Our YouTubes are attached to the bottom at the description. So make sure y'all subscribing, liking these videos. Go back and watch the old ones. We out of here. Wholesale Hardknocks.